When you're 9 years old, the world feels enormous. Big streets, big people, big problems that adults whisper about when they think you're not listening. And sometimes, in all that noise, the only thing you can control is a pencil and a piece of paper. Emma Davis was 9 when she wrote the letter. It wasn't a school assignment. It wasn't part of a project or a campaign. No one told her to do it. She just did. She'd seen a news segment with her mom. A quiet story buried between politics and weather. A young soldier overseas, not much older than her cousin, smiling in a photo taken before deployment. The anchor said something about his unit. Still out there, still holding the line. Emma didn't know what holding the line meant, but she knew what lonely looked like. And in that moment, something stirred inside her. That night, while her mom made tea and the wind rattled the windows, Emma sat at the kitchen table and wrote, "Dear soldier, I don't know your name, and you don't know mine, but if you're out there and it's dark and you're cold and missing home, I just want you to know someone is thinking about you. My name is Emma. I like art. I love pancakes. I have a little brother who's annoying but funny. I hope you come home safe. Love, Emma D." She didn't tell her parents. She folded the letter neatly, found an envelope, and simply wrote on it, "To any soldier who needs a friend." She brought it to school the next day, handed it to her teacher, and asked quietly, "Can you help this get to someone?" Mrs. Rayburn smiled. "I'll try, sweetheart." Emma forgot about it within a week. The world moved on. So did she. But somewhere far away, someone opened it. Lance Corporal Daniel Foster had been deployed for 7 months when the letter arrived. He was 22, from Indiana, the first in his family to join the military. He had a warm laugh, a deep love for classic rock, and a habit of drawing tiny stars in the margins of his journal when he couldn't sleep. His unit operated in a remote region, a place where the days were searing hot and the nights were cold enough to bite. Morale was low. Supplies were delayed, and the worst part wasn't the danger. It was the waiting, the endless not knowing. Then someone handed him a letter. No return address, no stamp, just a plain envelope that said, "To any soldier who needs a friend." He opened it slowly, read the words once, then again, and for the first time in weeks, he smiled. Emma's handwriting was wobbly but sincere. Her words were clumsy in the way only children can be. Honest, unfiltered, and real. He folded the letter, slid it into his breast pocket, and carried it with him. Everywhere! They always said, "It's the quiet days you have to watch out for." That morning was one of those. Clear skies, no chatter on the radio, nothing unusual on the drone feeds. The team joked over breakfast rations. Someone found a half-melted chocolate bar in a supply crate and split it 6 ways. For a moment, it almost felt like home. Then the world exploded. An IED tore through the lead vehicle. The blast shook the ground, flung debris across the valley, and left a ring of fire that ate everything around it. Screams followed. Static on the comms. Dust filled the air like a storm. Daniel was in the second Humvee. He was the first one out. He didn't think. He just moved. Smoke. Heat. Blood. He dragged 2 men out before the flames reached the fuel line. When the second explosion hit, he was thrown backwards, helmet cracked, ears ringing. He didn't remember blacking out. He only remembered a shape, something that slid from his vest as he hit the ground. The letter, it fluttered in the air like a feather, caught on fire, then vanished. But the words had already burned into his memory. "I hope you come home safe." When he woke up, he was in a hospital tent. Concussion, fractured ribs, shrapnel in his leg. 2 of his closest friends didn't make it. He didn't speak for 3 days. But on the 4th, he asked the nurse for a piece of paper. Back in the U.S., Emma turned 10, then 11. The world kept spinning. She forgot about the letter. She got a new bike, started middle school, discovered she hated algebra and loved astronomy. The letter was a moment, lost in time. Like so many other moments kids don't realize are important until much later. Then, one afternoon, her mother called from the kitchen. "Emma, there's something for you." On the table lay a package. Brown paper. Her name written carefully in blue ink. No return address. She opened it slowly, unsure what to expect. Inside was a medal. A real military medal. Heavy. Cold. And a letter. Handwritten, in clear, deliberate penmanship. "Dear Emma, you don't know me, but a year ago, you saved my life. Not with medicine, not with weapons, with words. Your letter found me in the middle of nowhere. I was tired, angry, scared. But you reminded me that the world still has light. That even when you're far from home, someone's thinking of you. I carried your letter with me until the day I couldn't. It burned in a fire, but by then it was part of me. I promised myself that if I made it home, I'd find you. I don't know if you remember writing to any soldier, but this soldier remembers you. Thank you. Daniel Foster, P.S. This medal belonged to my best friend. He never made it home. I think he would have liked knowing it went to someone with your kind of heart." Emma didn't speak for a long time. She just stared at the words, then clutched the letter to her chest. That night, she didn't ask for cartoons or music. She sat on her bed, the medal beside her, and drew stars on a piece of paper, just like the ones Daniel drew in his journal. Years passed. Emma Davis grew older, taller, quieter. She never forgot the letter. She kept it in a wooden box beneath her bed, alongside the medal, a photo of a soldier she found online, and a small journal where she wrote down thoughts she couldn't say out loud. At 13, she stopped telling friends about the package. Most didn't believe her. Some rolled their eyes. One girl even said, "He probably made it up." But Emma knew the truth. She could feel it. In the paper, in the ink, in the gravity of the medal. She didn't need to prove it. She just needed to remember it. Because every time life got too loud, every time she felt invisible, unwanted, unheard, she would unfold that letter and read, "This soldier remembers you." When she turned 16, Emma started volunteering at the VA hospital in her town. She didn't tell them why, just showed up after school and asked where she could help. She brought coffee, read aloud to blind patients, cleaned wheelchairs, smiled at men who hadn't smiled in days. And when no one was looking, she'd sit outside by the fountain and watch the flags dance in the wind. One day, a nurse approached her. "You come here a lot," the nurse said kindly. "Yeah," Emma replied. "Any reason?" Emma paused, then pulled out her phone and showed a photo of the letter. "This is why," the nurse read silently. Her eyes shimmered. "You kept this?" "Every day," Emma nodded. The nurse didn't say anything, just hugged her. That night, Emma cried for the first time in a long time. But they were not tears of sadness. They were the kind of tears that come from knowing, without a doubt, that something you did, something you almost forgot, mattered, really mattered. It was late spring when Emma received the invitation. An official envelope, gold seal, government stamp. She thought it was a mistake at first. It read, "In honor of your contribution to morale and service, you are invited to attend the National Service Recognition Gala, Washington, D.C." Emma looked at her mother. "Is this real?" "I think it is." 2 months later, she stood in a room full of uniforms, ribbons, and handshakes. She felt completely out of place until she heard someone call her name. "Emma Davis?" She turned. A tall man in a black suit, graying at the temples, a cane in one hand. He smiled. "I thought you might come." Emma stared. "Daniel?" He nodded. "Older now. Thinner, but it was him." They sat together for hours, talked about life, about war, about fear and hope and letters that find their way. Daniel told her about his friend, the one who didn't make it. "He had a daughter," he said. "About your age when he died?" Emma wiped a tear. He took her hand. "You gave me the strength to get home. And now I want you to have something." He handed her a new box. Smaller this time. Inside was a chain. And on that chain, the second half of a military tag, sawed in two. Her name was engraved on it, Just one word. Emma. She didn't expect it, didn't ask for it, but a single act, a letter written by a child to someone she'd never met, changed 2 lives forever. And maybe that's the truth we all forget too often. Even the smallest voices can echo across the world. Even a child's kindness can bring a soldier home, and even a letter with no address can find its way